ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरों वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुकुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरोदीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। तदा दुन्दुभयो नेदुर् मृदङ्गपाणवादय गन्धर्वमुख्यप्राजघु पेतुकुसुमवृत्तय। So I'll just read the second verse again. Read the second verse as well, because Srila Prabhupada has given a purport for that one, and that's the verse which has been given to me for to give the class on. I'll quickly read the translation of this one, and then we can repeat the second verse. At that time, the kettle drums resounded from the sky, the chief Gandharvas began to sing, and other demigods showered flowers like torrents of rain upon Dhruv Maharaj. Searcha Swarlokam Arokshan Sunitim Janitim Dhruva Anvashmarat Agam Hitva Deenam Yasya Trivishtapam Searcha Swarlokam Arokshan Sunitim Janitim Dhruva Anvasmarat Agam Hitva Deenam Yasya Trivistapam Searcha Swarlokam Arokshan Sunitim Janitim Dhruva अन्वास्मारद अकाम हित्वा दीनं यस्य त्रिविष्टपम् Mataji's. Sa he cha sa he cha also. Swalokam to the celestial planet. Arokshan about to ascend. Sunitim Suniti. Janinim mother. Dhruva Dhruva Maharaj. Anvas Marat. Immediately remembered. Agam difficult to attain. Hitva leaving behind. Dinam poor. Yasya I shall go. Trivishtapam to the Vaikuntha planet. Translation. Dhruva was seated in the transcendental airplane, which was about to start, when he remembered his poor mother, Suniti. He thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? Dhruv had a feeling of obligation to his mother, Suniti. It was Suniti who had given him the clue, which had now enabled him to personally be carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Vishnu. He now remembered her and wanted to take her with him. Actually, Dhruv Maharaj's mother Suniti was his Path Pradarshak Guru. Path Pradarshak Guru means the guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a guru is sometimes called Siksha Guru. Although Narad Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master, Suniti, his mother, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Lord. It is the duty of the Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process according to Shastric injunctions. There is no difference between Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, and generally the Siksha Guru later becomes the Diksha Guru. Suniti, however, being a woman, and especially his mother, could not become Dhruv Maharaj's Diksha Guru. Still, he was not less obliged to Suniti. There was no question of carrying Narad Muni to Vaikuntha Loka, but Dhruv Maharaj thought of his mother. Whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates immediately fructifies. Simply a devotee who is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord can also fulfill his wishes by the grace of the Lord. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, as soon as Dhruv Maharaj thought of his poor mother, he was assured by the associates of Vishnu that Suniti was also going to the Vaikuntha in another plane. Dhruv Maharaj had thought that he was going alone to Vaikuntha Lok, leaving behind his mother, which was not very auspicious because people would criticize him for not for going alone to Vaikuntha and not carrying him with his mother Suniti. With him, his mother Suniti, who had given him so much. But Dhruv also considered that he was not personally the supreme, therefore, if Krishna fulfilled his desires, only then would it be possible. Krishna could immediately understand his mind, and he told Dhruv that his mother was also going with him. The incident proves that a pure devotee like Dhruv Maharaj can fulfill all his desires by the grace of the Lord. He became exactly like the Lord, and thus, whenever he thinks of anything, his wish is immediately fulfilled. So, if you're reading from Canto 4 of chapter 12 of Srimad Bhagavatam, text 32, and we're in the concluding pastimes of we're concluding the pastimes of Dhruv Maharaj. Before starting the class, I'd like to express my gratitude to all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis sitting here and seek blessings. So much enthusiasm during Kirtan. Kal Yuga, it is said, Lavanya Kesha Dharanam. And I see the renunciation devotees, they've even shed their hair off for the service of the Lord. And I'm very, very happy and very blissful. The second last day, Kartik Chaturdashi, I'm getting this opportunity to render service by giving the Srimad Bhagavatam class. I seek all of your blessings that I'm able to say something which is according to the Shastras and which nourishes our Krishna consciousness and suits the ears of Srila Prabhupada, of Guru Maharaj, of Shri Radha Gopinath, of all the Vaishnavas. Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sandubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. So we see here that 5-year-old boy who gets insulted by his mother, by his stepmother, goes to his real mother Suruchi, and he expresses his wrath. He expresses his the injustice which has happened, and his mother gives him an advice that it is true what it is that your father favors your second mother more than me, and it is actually what your mother has said is right, that if you want to be favored by your father Uttanapath, then you should have taken birth from her womb. But this can be your misfortune, but this is what it is. You have to accept. But Dhruv Maharaj, the Kshatriya nature in him, it continued to argue, and it couldn't digest the fact, and he asked what there should be some solution to this. What am I supposed to do? And Suruchi gives him an amazing advice that I've heard that great sages get their desires fulfilled from the Supreme Lord. And Dhruva asks, where should I find the Supreme Lord? And she says that I've heard that these sages go in deep into the forest and meditate on the Lord, and that's where they usually find the Lord. And this is the age of Satya Yuga, which is, and the mode of communication with God, connection with God, is meditation. And Dhruv Maharaj, without giving it a second thought, rushes towards the forest, and in that instance, the Lord, the Paramatma, the Chaitya Guru, he's motivating Dhruv to go to the forest, and externally he sends Narada Muni, who will in future who will instruct him. So we see Suruchi gave him the good advice, being the Pad Pradashak Guru. She showed him the way. There's the forest, and now we'll see Narada Muni, who will give him Siksha. First he'll test him. Srila Radhanath Maharaj says that, quotes Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, and says that unless one is very serious in their spiritual life, one should not approach a spiritual master. So That's what Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada is saying. And we see that Dhruv Maharaj, he'll actually be tested by Narad Muni. So Narad Muni will tell him that, go back to your kingdom, you're too young. Um, a 4-year-old boy, a 5-year-old boy taking someone's words too seriously and taking impulsive decisions like that. It's not necessary. You go back, become do pious activities, and later on in your life, when your vanaprastha life phase of life comes, then you might want to feel like renouncing everything, and you may come back to the forest. But Dhruv Maharaj, he respects Narad Muni. He says that all your instructions are very uh, important, but they don't satisfy my soul. They don't satisfy my Kshatriya tendencies, and therefore I am very fixed on looking for the Supreme Lord and asking for him, asking him for a kingdom greater than my great grandfather. And there he cleared the test. When it akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaradhi tivrena bhakti yogena yajante purusham param. If it doesn't matter, even if someone goes to the Lord with some material desires, the fact that he's going to the Supreme Lord is the summum bonum, and will be the result, will be the reason for his liberation, or will be the reason why he will be the reason when he gets bhakti in future. So he cleared the test, and Narad Muni gives him initiation in this mantra of Sati Yuga, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, and he tells him the austerities to do, and he does the penances, and within 4 months he's able to get the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Prishni Garbha. And there's a very beautiful verse in Hari Bhakti Shurodaya. It is also mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sthane abhilashi tapasi stitoham tvam praptavan deva munindra kuhyam kanchan vichinvan apite viratnam swami kritatosmi varam nayache. So the translation of this verse is that I sat in the meditation looking for broken piece of glass, but little did I know that in my meditation I'll find the rarest diamond. So when Dhruv Maharaj sees Prishni Garbha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in person, he tells him that I was looking for broken pieces of glass. I wanted to pick up position than my great grandfather, but in that process of purification, I've found the rarest jewel. I've found the rarest diamond, which is you, my Lord. And so he was, because of his 5-year-old nature and lack of proper education, he was not able to pronounce words. And just like when a child gets too excited, the child is not able to say anything, just like how I'm not able to say anything right now. The Dhruv Maharaj was not able to say anything. He was so excited and so overwhelmed with it, and the Lord touches his Panchajanya conch shell on his head, Dhruv Maharaj's head, and he's able to glorify the Lord in perfect Sanskrit shlokas, and satisfy both himself and the Supreme Lord. One name of Krishna is Uttama Shloka, which means the one who speaks eloquently. And one more reason, and one more interpretation of this could be the one Uttama Shloka means the one who's glorified in amazing verses. So Krishna or Prishni Garbha, he was being glorified beautifully by Dhruv Maharaj. And then we see that Dhruv Maharaj, in the meantime, Dhruv Maharaj's Siksha Guru goes back to Uttanapad's kingdom, where Uttanapad was desperately waiting for Dhruv Maharaj, and he was lamenting that due to my sense gratification, due to my attachment, excessive attachment to my second wife, I broke my little child's heart, my son's heart, and now he's gone to the forest. And Narad Muni assures him that your son will come back as a great Paramahansa, and he has achieved his goal. When Dhruv Maharaj comes back, he's not envious towards his second mother. He's a transformed being. The Dhruva which went to the forest had rage in him, but Dhruva came back from the forest, had tranquility, had love and peace in his heart. And when he came back, he he was embraced. He was loved by all the residents, all the king, the king, the queen, the queen's everyone. And later on, Dhruv also ascended the throne and became the emperor of the entire um, creation and the entire world. Um, and at that time, Dhruv Maharaj's brother, Uttama, he he went to the forest and he was killed by the yakshas. When he was killed by the yakshas, Dhruv Maharaj charged towards. I'm just concising the story. So Dhruv Maharaj, when he was killed by the yakshas, Dhruv Maharaj charged and waged a war against the yakshas. In that course, he was deluded by the mystical powers of yakshas, and in that at that time he was advised by the sages to remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and just like Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hai Andakar, Jahan Krishna Vaha Maya Nahi Adhikar. Just like when the illusionary potency is there in a sadhak's or in a practitioner's life, and at that time when he's advised by the sages like Vaishnavas and Gurus to remember the Supreme Lord, and at that time when the jiva or when the sadhak actually remembers the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the clouds of Maya dispel and the Lord's holy name shine. Krishna Surya Sama Maya Hai Andakar, Jaha Krishna Vaha Maya Nahi Adhikar. So he he's able to conquer the yakshas, and at that time when yakshas go and take refuge of their lord Kuber, they go Kuber comes and says that there's excessive killing happening, you please stop, and I shall grant you benedictions. Dhruv Maharaj, being courteous, he listens to his seniors and superiors, and he stops, and Kubera is happy to give him any boon. And at that time, Dhruv Maharaj shows his renunciation, and Dhruv Maharaj shows his love towards God by asking him for nourishment in his spiritual life, and seeks blessings to dive deep in his bhakti, in his surrender to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. After this, he comes back. He realizes that all his family and his household duties are done. His duties as a king is done, and now he goes to Badrika Ashram, Badrinath, and decides to meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For after 36,000 years, when it's finally his time to ascend to the spiritual planet, to Vaikuntha. Actually, the Lord had created a Vaikuntha planet in this manifestation, and when he was about to go, he stepped on the death personified, came as a stepping stool, and he stepped onto the head of death, and he ascended to Vaikuntha, to the Vaikuntha plane. And when the Vaikuntha plane was about to start, Dhruv Maharaj remembered his mother Suruchi. So Suniti, and are you sure Suniti? So he remembered his mother, and at that time, Nanda and Sunanda, they were the guards or the pilots, if you can say. They advised, they showed him the Vaikuntha plane, which was ahead of them, and said that your mother is already is going to Vaikuntha before you, and that makes Dhruv Maharaj feel secured. That makes Dhruv Maharaj feels as if he has done his duties, because over here Srila Prabhupada says that Dhruv Maharaj was scared of being criticized, that he's going to Vaikuntha alone, without taking care of his mother. So in this brief story, we've got some very important lessons to learn. I thought I'll just concise the story in brief, because we very soon we're about to start the story of King Vena, and so one lesson we can learn from this is from Suniti, the mother's life is her wait, her patience. 36,000 years she she guided through Maharaj, and that's her part done in the story. And after 36 years, she's no more in the limelight. And after 36 years, she gets the opportunity to she gets like a free pass, just like if you've seen the movie Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, they get the golden ticket. She gets the golden ticket to the Vaikuntha Loka. There's a similar there's a similar character in Valmiki Ramayana where Jamvan, who's who's a bear, who's way more qualified than any of the Vanaras in the Vanar Sena of Sri Ram. But due to his age, when he was young, he circumambulated the Supreme Lord's foot, Vamandev's foot, thrice. But now in Treta Yuga, this happened in Satya Yuga, but now this is Treta Yuga, where Jamvan is no more um, no more that young. So he gets this opportunity during where they're in Dhanushkori, where Lord Ram had sent Hanuman and all those Vanas to look for Sita. In Dhanushkori, they're all sitting and they're deciding and they're thinking who should go to Lanka and fetch Sita there, and look for her. Jamvan, he doesn't he doesn't become envious of Hanuman. He actually motivates Hanuman. He becomes his Path Pradashakuru, because Hanuman had this curse that he would forget all his powers, and he'll only remember them when someone reminds him of his powers. So this lesson we can learn from Jamvan or Suniti over here is that always motivating others, no matter if you like them or not like them. You might not like them. There might be someone who doesn't like you. What's good for preaching? What's good for the movement? What's good for the individual person? It is possible that you both or we both might not be compatible, but it is possible that that personality whom you're showing jealousy towards might be good at something and might be able to give something to the society, or might be able to help in preaching in any way. So not being envious and motivating others, forgetting, not trying to be in the limelight myself, but trying to motivate others. So this is a very sublime but a very important lesson. So these qualities are like, just like how we wear our kanthi beads, and there are a lot of beads. So the crest, the main pendant is humility, and all these good qualities are like those beads which beautify our neck, and which we should always wear. Just like how a chaste woman always wear her sindoor and her mangal sutra, the pendant, which is a sign of marriage, of chastity. Similarly, a Vaishnava should always try to wear these qualities wherever possible, so that when others see you, and when you see yourself, you're reminded that you are married to Krishna. You belong to someone. It is this sense of being belonging to someone is very important. If you act independently, then you might be a victim to fall down. Just like we see Chitragupt in Maharaj Chitragupt, when he got access to Vaikuntha, when he got association of Lord Vishnu, he thought that he was in a position to judge Lord Shiva, and although he did not mean it as blasphemy, but he remarked casually, and he says that you're giving lecture on renunciation, but you're having your wife by your side and you're tightly embracing her. And Devi Parvati at that time, she gets agitated, but at the same time she says, "Oh son, because you've done this, you be born as a demon." So even in that time, Devi Parvati, being the mother, is showing compassion, but the point I'm trying to make is that if we always feel ourselves humble, it's like how Dhruv Maharaj, he, his, that's his humility, that 36,000 years back someone did something good to him, and he's still remembering that. And when he's on the chariot, he seeks the permission of all the sages. He's not proud. He's not saying, "Oh, where is your chariot? Oh, where? Oh, there's that. No planes have come for you, O sages." He's actually grateful for the association of the sages. He is grateful. He's actually made it, but he's still showing his humility, and he's still showing his gratitude towards his mother, Suniti. And in that sense, he remembers his mother. And at that time, Suniti and Suruchi, um, at that time, Sunanda and Nanda, they tell him that, your mother is already on the plane, and she's departing towards, she's descending towards Vaikuntha. So this is a very valuable lesson. Some more valuable lessons would be, I just want to check the time, how much we have. So gratitude, humility, and this tendency of motivating others. And Srila Prabhupada also talks about such a guru sometimes is called the Siksha Guru, and sometimes he's saying that sometimes the Siksha Guru becomes Diksha Guru. So a point in that sense would be that how in CC, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj, he's taking blessings before he starts Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's seeking blessings from all the Padpradashak Guru, Siksha Guru, Diksha Guru, and all the gurus. So whatever good qualification in us we see, or whatever as we advance in our spiritual life, and whatever qualities we might inherit, we should not become slaves of those qualities. I was listening, I heard this somewhere, that do not try to become the best at what you do, because that often leads you to become a slave of what you do. Whatever you do, whether you give an eloquent Bhagavatam class or not, whether you're an eloquent singer or not, whether you're a singer like me, just try to serve the Supreme Lord in whatever way you can, and be grateful that you're getting this opportunity, and be grateful that we're able to serve the Supreme Lord and the Vaishnavas. That is also an important lesson, because that we should always give all credit to our seniors, our superiors, our gurus, and we should always feel as if there's nothing coming out of our own credits. It's all because of Guru Maharaj or Srila Prabhupada's or Sri Radha Gopinath's mercy. There's a very beautiful verse in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. It says, Krishnot Kirtana Ganana Kala Patho Jani Prajita Shadbhaktavali Hamsa Chakra Madhupa Shreni Viharaspadam Karnanandi Kale Khate Vahatume Jivva Maru Prangane Shri Chaitanya Daya Nidhe Tavalasal Leela Sudha Swadhuni. This is such a beautiful verse. It says, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Nidhe Tavalasa Leela Sudha Swadhuni. And it talks about it, so it describes, it says that, O Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shri Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Kala Patho Jani Prajita, that the beautiful river of your glories is flowing, and the lotuses are your beautiful ecstatic symptoms, your dancing and your singing. And Shad Bhaktavali Hamsa Chakra Madhupa Shreni Viharaspadam, that there are beautiful swans and chakra birds which are constantly swirling around this beautiful river of your glories, of your glories, which are further enhanced by these beautiful flowers of your ecstatic symptoms. And Karna Nandi Kale Vahatume Jibha Maru Prangane. And where is it flowing? Oh Lord, I wanted to flow through the desert like tongue of mine. Jibha Maru Prangane. and Sri Chaitanya Daya Nidhe Tavalasa Leela Sudha Swadhani. And may I always nourish myself and others with this beautiful stream, constant stream of water. Now, what's amazing this, apart from the eloquent Sanskrit recitation and eloquent Sanskrit uh, way in which this shloka is there, it's showing Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's humility. It talks about, he says that my heart is like a desert, my tongue is like a desert, but your glories and the Vaishnavas, the birds like Vaishnavas, Hamsa Chakra Madhuba Shreni Viharaspadam, I want them to flow through my heart, flow through my tongue. So this humility we see, which Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is showing, that my heart is like a desert, but your glories are like is like this stream of river, and I wish that this stream of river flows through my heart and nourishes me. So whatever credit, whatever good qualification, whatever good we do, we should always give the credit to our gurus, to the Supreme Lord, and that's a very important point. And if we do that, the tendency of being proud, the chances of being proud would reduce to a great extent. The final realization I would like to share would be, how Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he mentions, he says that I'm lower than the worm in the stool, and anyone who takes my name will suffer in hell for eternity. This is what we think. I was listening to a lecture, and the lecturer said that long time back, when he had his Ayurvedic Panchakarma done, there was a long worm in the stool, which when he passed the stool, there was a long worm in it, and he was looking at the worm, and he was thinking, this thing was inside me. And then he was remembering Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's statement that I'm lower than the worm in the stool, and the worm doesn't have legs and hands, so it goes into the stool face in, and it's enjoying, it's swirling in the stool. It's not just simply there, it's swirling in the stool. And the lecturer said, and I also am a bit hesitant to say much and describe much about this subject in front of the deities, but you can imagine. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I'm lower than the worm in the stool, and he's not duplicit like me. So he means what he's saying. So that is the level of humility he shows. Trunadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna. So this is like the summum bonum. This is like the perfection of our chanting, the perfection of our. It is not just the Ekadash bhav you are after, or it is not just. It is you will not be able to relish the Ekadash bhav if you don't have humility. You will the mood of service in the spiritual world. Ramya Kachit Upasna Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita, that the highest form of worship is the worship done by the gopis or the manjaris in the spiritual world. But if you don't have the mood of service, what will you do becoming a manjari? If imagine you become a manjari, the gopi asks you to fetch water, and you don't have the service mentality, you will tell the other manjari, go fetch some water for Radha Krishna, why should I do it? So if you don't have that mood of service, what will you do? Even if you get to know your swarup, even if you get to know your bhav, even if you get to know the color of your skin. So that mood of service, which comes from humility, should really, Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Prema Pamarto Mahan, that this is the this is the scripture of love. It doesn't talk about manjaris explicitly, but it talks about devotees showing genuine humility. And Brihad Bhagavatamrit, which goes a step forward, which openly talks about the devotees before the story of Gopakumar, the story of how Narad Muni's quest to find the best devotee. Every devotee he goes to, that devotee, the common thing which he sees is that the humility shown by the devotee. He goes to Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva says, "Oh, I'm not qualified. Go to Prahlad Maharaj." he goes to Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj says, "Oh, I'm not qualified. Go to Hanumanji." So we see that this sense of humility and this sense of not wanting to come in limelight, but to motivate others, is very prominent in the Vaishnav community, in the Vaishnav Samaj. Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj says, "Saralta hi Vaishnavta," that a Vaishnav is very simple. This is something which we can take with us and try following for at least a week and see how it because when we try and follow these rules and regulations, and when we try and follow um, these words of the scriptures, we see transformations in us. Let's see if we're able to if we're able to realize something, if we're able to make a closer relationship, a closer connection with God, a closer if our chanting, if our taste in chanting has increased. This holy month of Kartik is very auspicious. Tomorrow is the last day of Kartik, and tomorrow is also the Vyas Puja of Srila Devamrit Swami Maharaj. Is it tomorrow or day after? So it's very auspicious day for us. So I would like to end this class on this note, that there are these beautiful pastimes are there to show us these valuable lessons, to teach us these valuable lessons. These are some of my realizations and some of the things which I heard in the lectures about Dhruv Maharaj, from Srila Radhanath Maharaj, Srila Radha Govind Maharaj, and other Vaishnavas. Please bless me that I'm able to walk my talk, and I'm able to imbibe whatever I'm saying in my own personality, and I'm able to go a step forward in my spiritual life, in my love for Krishna. Thank you so much. Shkrantar Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaved Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Any questions, suggestions, or feedback? Um, my understanding would be, so you very well said that when he went to the forest, he was not really a practicing devotee, although Shraddha was there. Adav Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Bhajan Kriya. So he had this Shraddha in his mother's words that, sages find the Lord in the forest. So he had that Shraddha. And later when he goes to the forest, later when he goes on the war to kill the yakshas, it is said that Vaikunta, Prabhupada, he makes this point that even 1% of sinful reaction if you have, or even 1% of karmic reaction you have, you don't really make it. So my speculation or my understanding would be that if Dhruv Maharaj was able to make it, then there shouldn't be any sinful reaction in his karmic records, him being a devotee, because even at that stage he's taking refuge of the sages. Why would sages help him if in his war? Dharma sansthapanatha sambhavam yuke, that the Lord and his devotees, they support dharma. And later on, Kuber, he actually blesses him. So I don't think there should be any sinful reaction to his excessive killing, but at the same time we don't support it. We don't say yes to ignorant and violent killing and massacres happening, but there's this saying that to protect dharma, sometimes you have to raise weapons, and sometimes to protect dharma, you have to kind of subdue your weapons. So I think we should do what's necessary. That I remember last time when I was here, I was saying that imagine there's someone who walks in with a rifle, and he's pointing towards the deities, and you know what's going to happen. Will you show Trinanda Pisunichen, or will you actually try to stop that personality, or try to save the deities? There's one Vaishnava in our ISKCON community who lost his leg saving Srimati Radharani in Srila Prabhupada's deity in Mayapur. So Srila Radhanath Maharaj says, just do the needful. That where we should do whatever wherever is needed, and just to whatever is needed to propagate Krishna consciousness. I'm just coming back from Mayapur, and Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada's Gaudiya Math. So the laborers who were making the temple, they had this habit of smoking bidi. So the disciples of Bhakti Siddhanta, they come to him and they say that they're smoking bidi and making temple. This is not the standard. And he said, just let them make the temple. And by the time the temple was finished, all of them left their habit of smoking. So this is my speculation, but you're a senior devotee, you should know better. Any others? Yes, bro. If you're not showing determination, then I don't know who is. You've given your life in service of Krishna. What else? What else? What else do you expect me to say? You should be the person who should be sitting here and giving Srimad Bhagavatam class. But you're following the four regulative principles. You're following 4X. You're surrendering. Tomorrow is your Guru Maharaj's Vyas Puja. You surrender to your spiritual master. You're doing you're studying Srimad Bhagavatam. What else is lacking? I mean, you are my goal, and I want to become like you, and you're asking me what you should do. This is very ironic, bro. So, in my humble opinion, whatever you're doing is perfect. Just continue doing it, and it's like a constant process of cleansing, and Chaito Darpana Marjanam, when the heart is completely purified by doing this process. Sri Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, when he had some disciples, and these disciples wanted to know about the esoteric pastimes of Shri Radha and Krishna, and they go to Jagannath Das Babaji, and Jagannath Das Babaji says okay, go plant some vegetables in the backyard. Go grow some flowers for the Lord. And they were doing this for a couple of months. And their Guru Maharaj wasn't revealing anything. Wasn't revealing them their bhav. Wasn't revealing them any pastimes of the Nikunja or anything which they wanted to hear. And they go to Bhakti Vinod Thakur and they say that, you're very close to Jagannath Das Babaji. And he's not revealing, we want to know all these things, but he's not telling us these things. What should we do? And at that time, Bhakti Vinod Thakur says that, go back and listen to your Guru Maharaj. And do whatever your Guru Maharaj is saying, because by that, these pastimes, these revelations will be revealed to you. What actually was happening was that Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj saw that they don't really have that mood of surrender, of mood of service, and they're not really qualified. So he was actually engaging them in this service, in Guru's service by growing vegetables, in Krishna's service by making flower garlands and growing flowers. And by that process, they'll be cleansed of their contaminations, and they'll become qualified to actually hear or get those revelations which they seek. So, in my opinion, there's nothing else I can tell you to do which you're not already doing, because you are there, literally there, as in for me. So just keep following Guru Maharaj Prabhu, and whatever you desire, you shall get. Thank you so much. Okay. Any suggestions or feedbacks, comments? Okay. We should end here. Shantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you so much, everyone.